Hello everyone and welcome back to Real Life Alpha. So just before we start the video, I want to thank you for whoever clicked the video and hit the like and the subscribe button. And now with that out of the way, on to the topic, the Mama Bear Syndrome. So to have a quick explanation of the Mama Bear Syndrome. So it is common knowledge that, female bears are extremely nurturing and protective of their cubs. So much so, if anything or anyone steps within, close range of the cubs, literally is threatened to be torn apart into pieces. So they all do that based on instinct. So that's where the comparison comes from. So majority of human mothers as well, they're very nurturing and protective of their children as well. Now this change has been, occurring and developing in these past decades, so more so that most human mothers nowadays, they start to resemble, these so-called mama bears without even noticing. And now in this video, I want to debunk the potential negative impact that is on nurturing and overprotecting your children. What would have on people past a certain age. So in addition, this negative impact is amplified in single mother households or families with weak father figures. Now guys, to make clear, it is absolutely necessary for a child to be nurtured and protected, especially from the young age of newborn to, let's say, more or less 4 or 5 years old. From that age, children are basically helpless and defenseless. They're unable to do anything and they're totally dependent on their parent or guardian. They can't eat, they can't walk, they can't communicate with the exception of crying, which is most of the times not perceived correctly. They can't get dressed, they can't take care of their hygiene, etc, 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 etc. So after those early years, when a child is not 100% dependable, the father should have a more active role in his parenting. Since by that time, the child has most likely developed some sort of the independence when it comes to just basic actions, it would be the ideal time to invest on his or her education, which should include the introduction and development of moral and ethical values alongside with the academic education. The role of the father should be to teach the child some basic life skills like minor repairs and implement in the child problem-solving methodologies. The end goal is to create a respectful, intelligent, friendly and a like-minded adult. In the case of an absent father, it is much more likely, and it has been statistically proven, that individuals who come from such backgrounds are far more likely to be morally and ethically deficient and live a life of crime and dreadful decisions. And I'm going to have 2 examples, one for young men and other for young women. So this would be an example of a young woman who comes from a single mother household. And after me interacting with such a young lady, many red flags popped up to me. So we'll start with, red flag number 1, poor diet and exercise routines. So this would be eating junk food on a regular basis and avoid any healthy activities. So no gym, nothing. Running out of money is the only exercise that she does. Also, eating disorders are common and often enough ignored. So second red flag would be poor implementation of values, morals and beliefs. I'm talking about a young lady who has a very active social life in bars and clubs. She has casual hookups and one-night stands with problematic men. She's an avid user of social media and attention and validation from men are her drugs of choice. This would be a young lady who also badmouths her father based on her mother's opinions, labels all men in general as bad with shaming language learned from her mother and society. She also has a laundry list of requirements to consider a man for a long-term relationship. It is overall a very badly developed personality. So red flag number 3, poor career choices, and often enough she's a below average student. Now this would be a girl who wants to major in her passion, which we could also say it would be a worthless degree. So anything on her degree containing the words social, gender, and studies, that's all worthless. Those are choices with very limited employment opportunities and non-flexible, which could accumulate an absurd amount of debt. So red flag number 4, she's unable and unwilling to provide any sort of domestic comfort. I'm talking about the good old cooking, cleaning, and tidying up the home. That has been labeled as slavery by third-wave feminism. And obviously, since all women believe in feminism, red flag number 5, little to no knowledge about money and how it works. This topic is often regarded as taboo. No interest in financial independence or understanding of financial products. Her strategy solely consists of locking in a rich man to save her from her distress. And these are the main disqualifiers for me for a long-term relationship with a young lady. There are more, but I consider these the ones with the most impact. Guys, make sure you ghost women who show these red flags. Now, an example for a young man coming from a single mother household and the red flags that he himself presents. So red flag number 1 would be all the previous mentions for girls except for the second one, which is different for a man. Red flag number 2, he's too soft, too much of a nice guy. He avoids conflicts at all times and complies with everyone and everything. He believes every woman is a virtuous angel who cannot do anything wrong and expects every single woman to behave as such. So, red flag number 3. He is raised to be a kind, chivalrous, and gentle to women, regardless if they have earned that from him or not. Which, often enough, this leads him into getting walked over and exploited by low-quality women. He is raised to sacrifice and compromise for women. The problem is that his mother, teaching him those ways, does not realize that other women may not be as good to her son as she is. Now, 4th red flag. With his beliefs, according to him, women have not changed anything prior to feminism. Women from today's generation are vastly different from older generations in a psychologically, socially, and culturally standpoints. This is a problem that a lot of generations fail to understand. Now, continuing, all of these behaviors are present in weak men and they repel women sexually. These work against you and set you back against women. You need to acknowledge that today we are dealing with women who show masculine traits and want to compete in careers and behave like a man and live the life of a man. So to conclude, when looking for a woman, we should not be looking for a replacement for our mother, since nowadays such women just do not exist. On the other hand, she wants you to be the father figure, to bring home resources, money, stability, prosperity to the relationship. She loves you idealistically, not unconditionally. So guys, this is Real Life Alpha. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure to hit the like and the sub button. Thank you. Cheers.